Alright, so as I am taking this video, it is Christmas Day. So that may be not the first, but one of the people to tell anyone who watches this video, Merry Christmas. And it is very bright outside, and we got like 6 inches of snow last night, and that may not seem like much to some people, but it's quite a bit here in Indiana. So, this is going to be a review of the 4th book in the Pendragon Adventures series, The Reality Bug, and it will be a sequel to my other 3 videos. So basically in this one, it leaves right where the last one left off in Neverwar. Gunny and Bobby are at the flume, and they go to the next territory they believe they need to be at, which is Velox. And the traveler there, Aja Killian, is a hard-headed little miss. Aja Killian. She is basically a smartass. Emphasis on smart. She is of course, she's a traveler from Velox, and when Bobby and Gunny arrive, she's like, "No, St. Dane's gone. Everything's fine. We've got it taken care of." And Bobby doesn't believe her, but Aja says that he's gone under the territory called Elong, and so they don't want to leave Elong defenseless currently, so Bobby sends Gunny to go scout on Elong for a while and report back shortly. And Bobby convinces Aja to let him go with her for at least to make sure that things are fine. And of course, things are not fine. The territory of Velox is falling into disrepair because of this invention created by a man named Dr. Zetlin called Lifelight. Lifelight is basically virtual reality. You can jump into, you call it jumping. You can jump and have whatever fantasy you want in your mind. You can do anything that you would be able to do. There's limitations that you are limited to what is actually possible physically or whatever. But so Aja decides to show him how she's going to save everyone, because St. Dane has caused havoc, but she has a plan to stop it. Using this computer program virus she has written, she calls the Reality Bug. And basically her description of it is, it makes the jumps less than perfect. Things go wrong, bad things happen that they didn't want to happen, and all that. So Aja decides she wants to test it out on Bobby, because he's already tried to jump and it's really cool. And so while in their the jump, Aja's there with him to monitor with him. They can be in jumps together. But and they're attacked, and their the faders, they control the jumps, the faders and the vetters. But the fader that they had guarding it is killed during this, because they have a wristband that you can control the jump with, kind of, and the middle button is to call your fader in, like a hologram of them will appear. But it's more real than that in this case, and the guy is killed. So they eventually manage to get out of there, and and they shut off light for a while until they can figure out what's going on with this, why it's screwing up. So Asia is examining her program, and she realizes that it is now a powerful virus, and she can't control it anymore. So she decides that they have to completely shut down Lifelight in order to save everyone. So but they don't have the kill codes, the kill code that they need. The only person that has that is Dr. Zetlin, and nobody has seen him in 3 years because he's been in his own jump for 3 years. So Asia and Bobby doesn't want Asia to go in because he thinks she needs to fade the jump. So Bobby goes to Zada and convinces Laura to come back with him. So Laura and Bobby are sent into the jump of Dr. Zetlin. But it goes wrong at first, and they're sent into one of Bobby's own jumps. But eventually Asia gets them out and puts them in the correct jump of Dr. Zetlin's. And so they finally find Dr. Zetlin and convince him to give them the kill codes. And it's like one number, which is like, really? But anyway, so they escape the building that Dr. Zetlin was hiding out in, and the jump is in Asia ends the jump, and they are all out. And they're celebrating because they think that they've won and everything for a few days, and everybody's starting to fix up the city and pick up the garbage that's all around and everything. And then a meeting is called, and Dr. Zetlin is there, and Asia and Bobby are in the crowd, and the lead fader of the city that they are in, Rubik City, the lead fader, Dr. Tree Sever, says that, because Dr. Zetlin speaks first and is like, we believe it will be best if Light stays disoperational, at least until we make sure that we know how to use it responsibly. But then Dr. Sever is like, as much as we respect Dr. Zetlin, we don't think that it's necessary because they examined Lifelight and everything seems fine now. So they immediately put Lifelight back on, and Asia and Bobby and Dr. Zetlin try to stop it, and Laura's been already sent back to the They tried to stop her from actually doing that, and her clearance has been revoked, and they're caught, and Dr. Sever is St. Dane. And everybody immediately goes back into Lifelight. And they have lost their first territory. And Bobby's like justifiably very upset. And so he decides he needs to check on Mark and Courtney because St. Dane had been alluding to some problems with Mark and Courtney. So let's go back with Mark and Courtney. They are trying to become acolytes, and they meet Press's acolyte, Tom Dorney. And he tells them that they can become acolytes when they are ready, and they'll know when they're ready. And so they are in this old house trying to explore because Mark's ring is lighting up. And they watch as a flume is created. And immediately coming through it is Saint Dane. Yeah, so this is the first time that Mark and Courtney actually meet Saint Dane. And so he basically scares them and leaves them a bag with something in it, a present for Bobby. And so Saint Dane leaves, and then immediately who comes through but Bobby? And he's like, "You didn't travel to Flume, did you?" And they're like, because Mark said one of the territory's names. But they're like, yeah? And he's like, "Don't. That's what Saint Dane wants." And they tell him about the bag, and he opens it, and there's a hand in it. And whose hand but Gunny's? And they know this because his traveler ring is on his finger. So Bobby is angry and upset because he doesn't know what's going to happen to Gunny and anything about what's happening. And also, Courtney's been having trouble in school because she just started high school and she's not as good as she thought she was because all the other girls are now beating her. And so she's losing her self-confidence. And Mark has joined this really prestigious science club at his school called Cyclops. So that's that. And so Bobby leaves and goes to Elon to this